Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody. As you can see, I'm in a suit. Don't mind me. This is for a thing unrelated to you. So we'll just see if somebody's paying attention. But anyway, so let's just focus on hockey. Today we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks and whether or not they should hit the panic button. That's probably why you clicked on this video. The Canucks are 2-5 on the season, and let me tell you, as a fan, it's already been rough. They've been outscored 33-20 in 7 games played, and it looks like this could be the norm this season. We've averaged 2.85 goals per game so far, but we've allowed 4.71 goals per game, so you can see we're easily one of the worst defensive teams in the league. But the question remains, is this all in the goalies? No, it's definitely not, as the goalies have been pretty bad. But we have the 9th worst Corsi in the league, 2nd worst shots against, and the 2nd most scoring chances against, while also having the 3rd most high danger chances against. And I apologize, somebody's making noises above me. So if you hear that, my apologies. I unfortunately can't control them. One day I will have my own house, and we won't have to worry about other people. While the goalies haven't performed well, you can obviously see this is a team issue, and we should have never expected Demko and Holtby to be the type of goalies that Markstrom was. Thatcher's stats this season look like this, and they aren't pretty, so be warned. 0-3 record, a 5.47 goals against average, an .866 save percentage, and 0 shutouts. Now let's look at Braden Holtby's stats. A little bit better. 2-2 record, 3.7 goals against average, an .888 save percentage, with again 0 shutouts. Now, I will be the first one to say that I complained about Holtby starting in net over Demko to start the season off, but right now it looks like Holtby should be the starter in net. That could change, but we have to be careful because this season is compacted. It is a 56-game season. It is not an 82-game season. So if we start off in a hole the first 20 games, the season could be over with. So we have to proceed with extreme caution. This is obviously concerning, but what should we expect? I think we'll end up missing the playoffs. The Canucks will miss the playoffs due to our inability to beat better teams at a competitive level, or at least be able to pick up some points against them. We've talked about it before, the division is already stacked, and really, basically the Senators are the only team that's supposed to actually be bad in this division. There's no freebies here, so everybody besides Ottawa is a team that should be competitive, and even Ottawa should be better than they were last year. So, you cannot cough up multiple games against Ottawa. I said this yesterday in my Montreal video, anytime you play Ottawa, especially with how tough this division is, you are going to have to be able to beat them the majority of the games you play out of the 8. So, we're going to have to take advantage of Ottawa. That's our one thing that we can, rest our laurels on. But at the same time, we have to be able to make sure we take care of business against Ottawa. I think more than anything, Vancouver just has to make sure to not end up 6th in this division. Why 6th? I think we just have to find a way to be competitive in order to have the young guys not be frustrated. Obviously, Pettersson and Hughes are going to be getting extension soon, hopefully, and you don't exactly want to be the worst team in the division or second worst. You want to be competitive in order to get them to want to stay, and I think they do. I think they will want to stay, but at the same time, let's say we tanked out and finished behind Ottawa or just ahead of them, it would obviously be concerning for us and for our younger players, because I don't think they'd exactly be thrilled to be joining a team or staying on a team that is, towards the bottom of the standings in the division. Now, I do get this is a tough division, but nevertheless, you don't want the young guys thinking this is the new norm. We obviously have some talent, and it looks like the depth is the biggest issue. My concern is definitely on the blue line, but just defensive issues in general. We're quite literally one Alex Edler, Quinn Hughes, Nate Schmidt injury away from having a complete and utter teardown of this team. Not teardown, but this team would just fall apart if that was the case. And I think Edler and Schmidt are going to have to do better playing 5-on-5, as they're both allowing higher numbers of shots allowed while they're on the ice, and their expected goals against versus their actual goals against is totally different, especially for Edler. It is a major negative thing. When he's on the ice for 5-on-5, I think they give up their expected goals against is it's a 3, but it's actually a 5 when he's out on the ice. So it's definitely a negative thing. Now, I know that I'm not supposed to touch up on this subject because it might hurt some people's feelings. I love Quinn Hughes, but even I admit that he's going to have to buy in more defensively. I know he's an offensive defenseman, but right now we just need everybody to buy in defensively, or we might not be able to make it to the playoffs. listen, obviously Quinn Hughes. I've done that before where I'll put his two names together. Last season, Quinn Hughes had a positive shots for versus shots against per 60 of plus 1.16. So, basically what that means is per 60 minutes, if Quinn Hughes played all 60 minutes, we would have outshot a team by about 1 shot per game. This season, it's been a drastic change as he has a negative shots for versus shots allowed per 60 of negative 7.33. As you can see, that is a drop-off of about 8.5 shots for versus shots against. So, again, obviously that means that when we're having him out on the ice, he's getting outshot by about 7 shots per 60, which doesn't seem like a lot, but obviously since he had a positive impact this past season, you would be surprised that the drop-off has been so steep with the negative shots for versus shots against per 60. Again, this doesn't just apply for Hughes. Everybody's going to have to buy in and need to be a little bit more defensively sound. I think we're a lot like the Capitals in the sense that I said in their season preview, they have to probably buy in a little bit more defensively, even though they can score bunches of goals in order to win consistently. So, like I said before, we're going to have to focus more on the defensive game. The only problem is we're not as defensively sound as the Washington Capitals. I'm not sure what will happen this season, but I'm just hoping we can find a way to dig and claw our way up to the 4th spot in the division, possibly work some magic in the playoffs. Who knows? We'll see. The only thing is, something tells me that our defensive and goaltending issues will plague us the rest of the year, and at the very worst, we'll miss out at the 4th spot. I want to be wrong about this, but 7 games in, I'm not convinced. We are atrocious when it comes to keeping the puck out of our own end of the net. And really, one thing we're going to have to do is limit penalties. With a team that struggles this much defensively and focuses so much on offense, this is not working. We're going to have to hope and pray that nobody that's one of our top 4 pairing defensemen gets hurt. We just have a lot of things that have to go right. Injuries cannot happen, especially again to the blue line. Let me know what you think. This was obviously a little bit shorter of a video than normal, but I have to get this put out. I wanted to hear what you have to say, and yes, again, don't mind the suit. Everybody stay safe, have a great day, and stay away from COVID. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.